everyone, it's Ashley, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys some cozy reads recommendations. So here are some reads for those days where you feel like cuddling up on the couch with a throw blanket and drinking some tea and just enjoying a good book. I am going to get the obvious out of the way first, and I'm going to show you guys Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. If you haven't read Harry Potter yet, I'm not sure which rock you're living under, but I would highly recommend crawling out from under it because this series is not only totally worth your time and probably gets talked about all the time around you, but it is one of my favorite series of all time, and it is definitely a perfect cozy reading recommendation. Next, we have a quick read recommendation, and that is Amulet by Kazu Kibuishi. I literally don't know how to say their name properly, so I could be saying that totally wrong. I read this in one sitting when I first read it. I loved it. I know that it gets kind of mixed reviews on BookTube sometimes. I think some people expected more out of it, but I really liked it. It's a really awesome adventure story. It does have some heartwarming moments, but it is definitely a quick read if you're looking for something to sit down with a cup of tea and spend an hour on. Next, we have a heartwarming and funny read, and that is An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. This is one of John Green's lesser crazily talked about reads. However, it's one of my favorite John Green books. I really liked this one. It was hilarious at times and also had some heartwarming moments, but it's definitely a quick read if you are looking for something to read on a rainy day. Next, we have a heartwarming yet heart-wrenching read, and that is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I devoured this book. This book made me cry multiple times, and generally speaking, it's pretty difficult for a book to make me cry. I do cry when the time is warranted. I am a crier, but it's pretty difficult for a book to make me cry, and this one just brought out all the feels. So if you're looking for a read that's definitely going to make your heart grow 10 times bigger. And completely opposite to that recommendation is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This is the most adorable book. I read this in one sitting, I believe on New Year's Day, or it was my first read of 2014, and I devoured it. It was so cute, so cute. It brought out a lot of my awesome emotions. It made my heart feel really happy, and if you're looking for something to kind of brighten up a gloomy day, I'd recommend this one. And if you're looking for a way to brighten up a gloomy day with not only awesome romance and amazing emotions, but really awesome jokes and really funny banter, I would highly recommend these two. First being Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and second being Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, both by David Levithan and Rachel Cohn. Okay, these are super short, so short. You could definitely read these in one sitting or two. But also they are so funny. They're dual narrated, which I love, and I just really like the awesome banter that happens in both these books. It also has some really heartwarming moments and some kind of sad moments, I guess. There's lots of emotions going on with both characters in both of these books, but they are honestly excellent cuddle up and read books. Next, we have Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This one is more if you are feeling kind of in a fairy tale mood, but you don't really want to read an actual fairy tale or a fairy tale retelling. This one is an adult fairy tale. It's the best way for me to describe it. It feels very fairy tale-esque, but it is not a retelling. So if you're looking for something that is a bit obscure but still has that fairy tale feel, I'd recommend this one. But fair warning, it's definitely dark. It's not happy-go-lucky. Next, we have an awesome romantic recommendation, and that is Just One Day by Gail Forman. I didn't know which Gail Forman book to include, but I chose this one because I really like the message that it has in it. It has some really awesome moral ideals in it when you read it, but I also read it really quickly, and it did have some awesome romantic elements, but it also had some awesome be yourself and grow into yourself and you are awesome as a person, feels to it. And sometimes I think that you need that when you want to cuddle up, because sometimes you want to cuddle up because you're feeling kind of down, and this might be the kind of book that would help you through that. Then we have another quick read recommendation, and that is Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. If you haven't read this yet, I'd be surprised because it is talked about all over on BookTube, but this series is excellent. The characters are well executed, the art is phenomenal, the plot line is great, and it's definitely a read that you're going to want to read in one sitting because you will become addicted to the plot and you will need to know what happens to every single character. So I would doubt it if you'd be able to put this down. Next, we have a read I haven't actually talked about on this channel yet because I have yet to film an August/September wrap-up. I don't even know if I'm going to at this point, guys. If you really want one, comment down below and let me know, but as it stands, I may actually just skip it over. I don't know yet. Maybe. Anyways, the book that I'm talking about is The Game of Love and Death by Martha Brockenbrough. This book was so good. I did not finish it in one sitting, however I'm putting it in this recommendation list because it is a really awesomely plotted novel, and if you're looking to sit down for an entire day and read a book that you are going to become addicted to, where you're going to love the characters and you're going to need to know what's happening, this book is just, it's so well written, the characters are so well done. I loved it. It should be read by everyone. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend. Then we have a more Christmassy cozy recommendation. I wanted to include it in this video anyways though, because it is definitely a curl up and cuddle type of read, and that is My True Love Gave to Me. It is 12 short stories by basically every awesome YA author out there for the most part. There's a few missing, but for the most part. I adored this book. I have about 3 short stories at the end still left, but I'm saving them for the holiday season because I know I'm going to want that really adorable holiday read in about a month. So I'm going to save those for then. But this is awesome because you don't have to read the whole book at once. So because it's 12 short stories that don't actually connect to one another, you can read 1 or 2 short stories at a time instead of having to sit down and feel like you have to finish an entire book in one sitting. The next few reads are actually some of my favorite reads of all time, and I wanted to include them in this video for many reasons. Some being that these are some of the best characters I've ever read, others being that I read these books very quickly, if not in one sitting, and also they're all very heartwarming and heart-wrenching and, you know, like get all the feels from these books. And the first one being, no surprise I'm sure to any of you, Winger by Andrew Smith. I loved this book so much. The characters are great, the plot is great, the writing is great. I also read it really quickly. I think I actually read this one in a day. Not in a sitting, but in a day. I remember when I finished it, I cried for multiple reasons, but one of the reasons I cried was just because it was over and I was just so sad that it was over. But it's definitely one of those reads that I would recommend if you are looking for something that's going to give you all the feels. Next, we have a fairy tale retelling, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This book surprised me. I loved it so much more than I was expecting to, but if you're looking for something that has that fairy tale feel but is also sci-fi, dystopian, and a little bit different, I would recommend this one. For those of you who have been Harry Potter nerds your entire life and you love all the feels and all the emotions and all the heartwarmingness, plus maybe also you love Starbucks, I would highly recommend Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Again, I'd be surprised to hear that a lot of people haven't read this yet. I would highly recommend it. It is a much bigger book. You're probably not going to finish it in one sitting, but it is definitely a curl up and read type of novel. It has amazing characters, super heartwarming, like, plot points, and also just like really awesome, like, one-liners. This actually has awesome one-liners. Also, Rainbow Rowell has a new book that just came out called Carry On, which I have become obsessed with recently actually, that is kind of a spin-off of this book. And last but certainly not least is one of my all-time favorite books, and that is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elier Sands. I don't think I could actually express my feelings towards this book in a video because that is how much I loved it. It is LGBTQ, for those of you who are looking for LGBTQ books on a regular basis. I know they can be kind of hard to find. This one is one of the best ones I've ever read in my life. I loved the characters. I loved all the characters. The family dynamics in this book just got me right at the core. The friendships in this book, again, so deep and so amazing. And if you're looking for a book that's kind of just going to keep you on the edge of your seat but isn't like an action-packed thriller, but rather just a really well-written contemporary, this one is definitely the way to go. Alright, so those are my cozy read recommendations. If you guys have some cozy read recommendations for me, please comment down below and let me know, and otherwise I will see you guys soon with another video. Happy reading!